Hey guys, welcome to the shop. Wanted to do a quick little video. I don't know if it's going to be quick, but wanted to do a video for a little while on power tools that I use on small engine repair and kind of why I use them. As you can see, I have Milwaukee here. Milwaukee makes some really good automotive small engine mechanic style tools. Such as these fueled ratchets. A lot of people really like them. There are other options out there, but when I started, I bought into Milwaukee because it was more convenient. From the place that I worked before, I got things at a really good discount. Made a lot of sense. I could warranty directly through them, so that's where I started at it. For now, because I'm invested in it, that's the direction I'm going to continue going. And especially for automotive, they have a lot more tools kind of tailored that direction. So small engine repair doesn't take a ton of torque. It does have some tight spots. It does have some things that have a bit of torque, on them and stuff. But in general, it's fairly basic. Some things have to have a lot of finesse. So as you can see in front of me, I have the long neck 1/4 inch ratchet. I have the 3/8 stubby, and then I have the Surge. Don't know if you can read the model number of that, 2551, which is a 1/4 inch hex drive, which so give some options of what you can and can't do with this. Why do I have a 1/4 inch ratchet and a 3/8 stubby? 3/8 stubby has really good torque, a little bit more than what's compared to the 1/4 inch. Good solid performer. Now my thing with that is space wise, I have these 3/8 stubby or short sockets. Here is a 3/8 stubby, and these are by Astro, and they're super cheap. It's like $25 for the metric set, and I think it's like 6 to 19 millimeter or something. Nice little set, $25. I mean, it's no brainer. They say they have a lifetime warranty, but never had to deal with them. This is a 1/4 inch drive, Tecton, 8 millimeter, standard height. I think Snap-on makes a shorter version possibly, but they charge out the butt for them. So, nice thing about this, and I don't want to get too far off track, is Astro also makes a stubby 1/4 inch to 3/8. So, I'm going to try to do a little comparison here, if I can get this on. See if we can lock this in a spot to where it's easy to tell how far it's coming out for us. So with that head up against there, we're coming out right to there. Shows how long that is. Now these ratchets have a little bit of torque, but not a ton. Now when you take the short adapter, just hit that a little bit. Hard to do this one-handed, guys, sorry. Short adapter, stubby socket, it's tight. Put that on. You aren't losing a whole lot of space there. A little bit, but not a ton. I know the 3/8 head is supposed to be a little thicker, a little bigger. I don't know about thicker, a little bigger around and stuff. So it's a compromise I can make just fine with what I'm working with, and it doesn't cause a problem losing that slight little bit if I have to have a 3/8 socket for where I'm going. Now this little Surge, a lot of people are always wonder why these little M12s are my favorite. Like I said, we aren't dealing with a whole lot of torque. These have more than enough on most everything we're working with. They're fast, they're easy to get into tight spots, and they're just so versatile to me as far as I do a lot of things with Torx bits, T27, a lot of different Allen heads, things like that. So this makes it super quick and easy for me to, you know, put a different bit in there and break down a chainsaw, leaf blower, whatever, just fast and easy. It does have the auto stop. I've not tried it on too awful much. I haven't had any junk equipment in. This is fairly new for me to see if it'll auto stop in the aluminum magnesium cases or if it'll, you know, strip those out. I would like to try that at some point in time, but when I get a junk unit, I'll try that. And also into plastic. If it stops before it strips plastic out, just speed up the process. So I do have the big boy back there, which will take anything that I've come across off. I haven't found something that it won't. Trying to think what all I want to talk about on these. So I like them. They work really, really well. They speed up the process a lot, especially when you have the right bits and stuff for that. I have mechanics who start new, sometimes who don't have any tools, and you know, a solid socket set, screwdriver set, you don't need a lot of big tools or a lot of specialty tools in the small engine industry, so that's not a big deal. Nice thing about these is you can get different kind of bits and stuff for this versus whole screwdriver sets. Get into areas pretty good. You can also run 1/4-inch drives, 3/8 drives, such as like this here. But that does add to the length, makes it a little harder in some spots, plenty easy in others. So that's just kind of the tools that I have. The reason I have them, you know, because they were convenient to start. And then, you know, the reason I bought the certain sizes that I do have. I try to not have a lot of redundancy, just because the simple fact of, you know, these tools cost $160, $200 plus for tool only on some of these. That's a lot of money for me. I don't want to buy 2, 3, 4 ratchets. I don't want to buy 2 different stubbies or 3 different stubbies. You know, obviously I have a lot here, a lot more than what some people do. I get asked a lot of times, what would be your first tool to purchase on these? Realistically, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on what you're doing. If I was doing mainly chainsaws and leaf blowers, weed eaters, things like that, this little guy here, or even the brushed M12 version, pick those up a lot cheaper. Great little tool to have for that. If you're doing a lot of the bigger things, the lawnmowers and stuff, then it'd probably either be the ratchet or the stubby. Same with automotive. Doing automotive would probably be the ratchet or the stubby. I don't know. I'd have a hard time saying pick one over the other, depending on what all you're working on and with and where at. Ratchet's super convenient and stuff. Stubbies, it's just a little knockout little tool. I mean, these things, you can see 100 videos out there on them. They have plenty of cranking. They have plenty to crank off lug nuts and blades and almost anything else you need. This big guy back here, once you can afford one and you have it, you'll probably never do without. I don't use that one that much anymore, especially with these tools here, just because I don't need to. But when that doesn't work and I need to, that is so nice to use. As long as it can fit in there, it's coming off, at least in my experience. I haven't had anything I couldn't get off with that. So anyways, there's a couple little videos or a couple little tools on going over kind of what I do, don't like on these. Not much I don't like, other than the price. I mean, everybody can complain about cost. Everything's expensive. But I've had really good luck with the Milwaukee stuff. I haven't had that many failures. The failures I did have got warrantied out pretty easy. These are in a shop environment. Every tool breaks. I don't care, manufacturer, brand. We use them. They get, beat up and stuff. As you can see, I wipe my tools down. I try to take care of them. I try to keep them clean and everything, but even at that, it will still eventually break and fail. But like I said, the robustness, I haven't had any complaints. I have the non-brushed hex drive Milwaukee impact. That thing is, I think, going on 4 years old now. I used it, then I handed it down to a mechanic that was needing somewhere to start. He's still using it. It's a great little tool. Not as much oomph as this one here, but it's still good. Now this one here, I know somebody's going to ask, well, why go with the surge over the regular impact that they have, the Gen 3, which is a beast of a thing. A couple of reasons. One, I don't need any more speed. 2, I don't need any more power. 3, this is a little quieter. It, to me, seems smoother in hand and a little more controllable, which to me is more consistently needed than just brute force. 4 is the impact of it is a little longer of an impact versus a faster snap of an impact, if that makes sense to you guys. On the Gen 3, it's a fast crack of an impact, where the surge is a slower, longer duration of an impact. That's part of what makes it quieter. It's because it's in the fluid, so it's a slower impact, which to me feels like it gives it more of a sustainable torque. Seems to work better on bolts and seized screws and things like that than the regular impact does. And again, quieter. I don't know if you can tell, it echoes in here. This is a big open shop, so you have something cracking all day long at your ears underneath a lawnmower or whatever. It goes back in your noggin all day long. It gets annoying as can be. You got 2 or 3 of these things running in a shop at a time. It gets a noisy place. Every little bit does add up, is making it nicer. So that's basically why I have the Surge versus the Gen 3. I like it. It works well. Like I said, it's really controllable. I can go in nice at a slow creep. It has pretty good knockout force. If it doesn't work, I have other things that will. You can see size-wise how this compares. It is actually longer than the Stubby. And then if you need to put a nut or bolt or anything on it, it's longer. See if I can line these up so we can see them well. And you can see it's narrower. Oh, maybe I need to go back just a touch. There we go. So hopefully you can see that it is like a 1/2 inch longer than the Stubby. So by the time you put a bit in and put your socket on it, it's like running a 3-inch extension on this. But like I said, it's not for everything. It has its purposes. Now I only have the one ratchet. I know some folks are going to say, well, why do you have the long versus the short versus, the standard fueled 3/8 quarter? Well, the quarter, I think I already explained well enough of why I have it. It is a smaller head than the 3/8, and it is, enough power for what we're doing. You can break things loose with this. You don't have to rely just on it. It works as a regular ratchet. So that's, breaking stuff loose isn't a problem. Why not go with the short handle version? Because I didn't want to. No, I've used the 3/8. Have a mechanic with a 3/8 short, not handle, but short neck version, and it works great. It's fine. It's here in the shop. I never have to grab it. It's never something that's like, man, I really need that. This seems to work just fine. I haven't found cramped enough spaces in what I'm doing where that's needed. So that's why it also gives me more rounded on what I need to do. I work more in 1/4 inch stuff anyways because of the size of things we're working on. Just a fit. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit like, subscribe, all that other crap. Share the video if you like. But appreciate you watching. Looking forward to your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Have a great day.